Hey guys, Ash here from the Gullers and Blues, and I hope you're doing okay this Sunday morning. Yes, this is the match reaction to Everton's third successful, successful is the probably a different word we're all thinking. Their third successive defeat. It finished at Goodison Park yesterday afternoon. Everton won Manchester United 3, and a very very good start, albeit it took us a while to get going. Bernard giving us the lead and giving us some hope, and then you may listen to the podcast version. It goes on for about 20 minutes, and I'm pretty annoyed at one person and one person only, and that is, as he was aptly named in my podcast, Moany Hole Fernandes. He did nothing but complain, moan, bad tackle, and pursued the referee on numerous occasions to try and get Everton players either sent off or carded. And I was watching it on Astro Sports yesterday, and it was Jim Beglin on commentary. And you wouldn't have thought that being a red, he would stick up for us yesterday, but he was absolutely really annoyed at the gamemanship of Moany Hole Fernandes. The guy is an absolute brilliant footballer. We saw yesterday the two class goals that he scored to set them up on the way to a win. But for him to, every single nook and cranny, he was at the referee dictating with his hands to try and get our players carded. And I have to admit, there was one pretty instant where Alan did the same thing. He went down. There was a challenge coming in, but he rode the challenge and went down and tried to get Moany Hall Fernandes a second yellow, which is wrong, completely wrong. And a lot of clubs and a lot of players are doing this, but no more than I've seen in the last 6 or 7 years of any league, any game. And it's not just in this game, I've seen him doing it in other games. He's continuously badgering the referee to give cards, and I'm absolutely sick of the muppet. He did all he did to try and get players sent off yesterday. It's just, it's something to watch out for all the Premiership clubs that are going up, against Man United in the next while, to watch how he does it, and something needs to be done about him. But anyway, getting back to the game, it was a lovely goal taken by Bernard. Bernard, I thought, had a good game yesterday. It remains to be seen whether, when we saw Coleman, Holgate and James Rodriguez starting the game, whether the three of them were fit. In my eye, Seamus Coleman was fit. He looked fit. He did have good moments where he got into the box a couple of times. One in particular, he just took it on too much. He could have actually had a shot away and didn't take it, and he lost the ball. Another one, the ball was fed into him with a nice back heel by James Rodriguez, and for some reason he flicked the ball up as if it was a cross instead of taking the shot on. Maybe he thought Calvert-Lewin was going to be in the box. Our passing wasn't great in the very first half. It was a bit better in the second. The funny part, what I thought was just before we actually scored our goal, Jordan Pickford was signalling to the bench for a cap because the sun was in his eyes. And as you probably saw in the match yesterday, when the camera panned to behind our goal in the first half, you could clearly see there was an issue with the sun. Now, I don't know whether the bench didn't react to it, but shortly after we got the goal, the defence were just at fault, or they didn't see the ball, but Moany Hole Fernandes got the equaliser, and then shortly after he got the second goal for them. And in fairness, Pickford was kind of misjudged with the way that the Rashford was coming in for the header, and he didn't get a touch on it. It just went straight off into the goal. But if there was an issue there that he was supposed to try and get a cap, why didn't he go and get it in the end? Only Jordan Pickford could answer that question. But so funny that in the second half the sun disappeared. Then finally, the hoodoo, which I'm sick and tired beating the drum about, and it drives me bonkers every single time you see it. Once I saw the substitution for Edison Cavani come on, I just knew what was going to happen, and lo and behold, he hasn't scored since he joined United, and he gets one chance against us, and he put the ball in the back of the net to make it 3-1. Is it a case of our players aren't fit? Is it a case of, we're not as good as we think we are? Is it the first couple of games were a fluke? It's making it very, very hard call. And going into this 2 weeks break, the previous two, international break for the paint drying football, we would have said no, we don't want it, we want to keep on going. In this case, we kind of want to say, okay, we're going to ban our players from going on international duty, and we want Carlo Ancelotti to work with them very hard for the next 2 weeks, because the next two games are against Fulham and I believe Leeds United, and we have to get 6 points from those games if we have any aspirations of keeping up that top end. Because look who's up there now. Southampton's up there. The Shites go against Manchester City today, so obviously we're all going to be going for Manchester City. But they could be back up, top of the table by the end of the day. We need to ensure that when we come back in 2 weeks' time, that we are ready. The players are fit and ready, and we can't have these. It was when we saw the lineup today. To be fair, when we saw our lineup and then saw Man United's lineup, and they haven't been in great shapes and losing a couple of games, and then no Pogba, no couple of players. Tellez hasn't been able to play for them yet. You're thinking, okay, this is a chance to put them to the sword, and let's get 3 points against, which even though they hammered us 3-1, are very, very poor Manchester United side. But unfortunately it didn't happen, and we didn't keep going when we got the first goal, and it ended up being 3-1 the final score. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens in the next 2 weeks. Hopefully any players that do go on international duty will come back fit. But anyway, that's enough for me. It's finished. Everton 1, Manchester United 3. Talk to you again soon.